Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody Williams. And today I got none other than the entrepreneur herself, Magda. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jody. Thanks for having me over here. Much appreciated.
So you have a huge event coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I do. It's a big one. It's a, I would say we have, September 7. There's 8 matches, Global Elite, the name. So let me give you a little bit of background because you said that the name changed. There's no name change. There's a couple of leagues running right now, which is AWC, which is my completely and alone. And under Global Elite, there's 2 individuals that are collaborating with me.
Okay.
Yeah. So we wanted to keep the 2 separate because they're going to run their own, and I'm going to be helping them out and collaborating with them. And AWC is completely under me and nobody else. So, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad because after a while, I was like, okay, this is Global Elite. I'm thinking, oh, okay. And I see your face, your name attached to the event.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, well, maybe there's no more AWC, So when do you plan on doing another AWC event?
Early February. And, I guess I've told a couple of people already. I'm planning on doing it in Europe.
Oh, okay. So I don't want to sit there and I don't want to you let the cat out of the bag too early if you don't have to. So I didn't want to pressure you into saying anything, but early February.
I'm already planning it, right? So I have a couple of matches already in the works. So just gotta after this chaos is done, September 7, then I can just sit down and actually work on everything on early February. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting too.
So will that event be in Canada also?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So planning on there's gonna be 2 or 3 a year. Maybe 2 in Canada and 2 in Europe. I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should be. There's the population in Europe and the proximity in Europe. It's so close. All the athletes and everybody is so close to each country that it's not a problem of travel time, or there's no problem or flight time, like an hour pop, you're in another country kind of thing. You pop on a train, couple of hours, and you're where you want to be. In Canada, you know how it is in the States, the same thing. You have to fly over across the country and across the border to be somewhere, and it takes 3, 4, 6 hours, right? Or even 10, 11, depending where you come from, right?
Right.
So Europe is kind of central from all the athletes to be in, I think.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So we have Mad Marshall X, Amanda, on the show. She says, "What's up, Magda? What's up, Jody?" We got the Drews in the house. We got, here you go, good friend of mine in Utah, Scott Evans, right? He says when Cody Merritt beats Pablo at your event, he gets the credit for being Cody's training partner.
Yes. Is he coming?
I don't know. Are you coming, Scott? That we want to know. Well, he just got back from his own tournament this past weekend in Idaho, and he took first in every category. So
nice.
he did good for himself. So how do you, when you make these matches up, these match cards, how do you go about that? Do you call people up? Do you kind of have a group or a team that you collaborate with so you can kind of figure out what's a good matchup? How does that work out for you?
Well, for me, I do it all by myself. I look at the usually how I go about it. Some of the guys that I know already, right? And then I always try to bring in somebody new, up and coming. So I just look at the stats, the record. Personality has a lot to do with it as well. I would say, I want when you pair people up, in my opinion. Listen, Jody, there's a man putting up events and there's a woman putting up events. My mentality and my thinking is totally different from your guys' perspective, right? So I look at them like, for you guys, just put them up together, I think, and then look at the record, who's the strongest in rankings. I like, in my head, there's so much freaking details that goes in. It's like, I don't know why I put myself through this, but like experience, nationalities. I ask people who they would want to see compete against, or who do they like, the athletes themselves. Like Pablo reached out to me and I reached out to him. Pablo, like, what do you think would be a good match for you? Bring me Cody. I started talking to Cody. We agreed, and off we go, right? So it's not only me putting the athletes together, it's also what athletes and what they want.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
Give me Cody. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Cody, guess what? Oh, that was simple.
Yeah, but I also look at the record and the past record too, right? I'm just looking at where these guys are standing, their rankings and their wins, losses, and then off we go. If it makes sense, let's go. If it doesn't make sense, then yeah.
So Mr. Scott Evans says, I will come the time she invites me with a match. So there you go. Now, also, not only do you have, at least with the AWE, not only do you have super matches, but you also host a tournament, do you not?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I was wondering how that went down.
I think it's a great opportunity for the tournament, especially when people come and have all these elite pullers come as well, and have them all at the same spot, and also some of them pull with in a tournament. I think it's a good experience for everybody coming and have that experience to pull with the elite ones, right? And see where they stand. And it's exciting. It's fun. For me, it's creating what people want, what they want to see, have a good time, put on
we all want to have a good time, right?
Right? That's what I say. That's why this Saturday, actually, this is a little bit different. There's no tournament, but we have a hall for about 2,000 people. There's going to be, once the event, we have vendors set up in the lobby. So whoever wants to come, we have few good people coming in, like a cigar shop and a water shop and different stuff. And like once we get the pay-per-view started, like the main card is going to start at 6, and 8-9 o'clock when it's over, we're gonna have a live DJ and we're gonna have a party after. So
that's where you need to be at. Oh wow. So it's
gonna be a lot of fun.
I got a couple questions. One, is your event this coming Saturday, is it a pay-per-view?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. And where can someone purchase this event?
It's on millions.co/global elite.
Oh, I'm about to write this down. You said millions?
Millions.co.
Okay.
-global elite.
Because this might be a good spot. So yes, everybody, millions.com/level elite.
Oh, not com, .co.
Oh, .co. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for correcting me. All right.
Yeah, no worries.
What time does the event start?
6 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
All right. That'd be 3 o'clock here out west. All right. And my second question, which is not my question, but it's from Amanda Marshall. She says, do you think an all-female card for super matches will do well in Canada and for a pay-per-view?
Just female card? I don't. I think everybody knows that the females in arm wrestlings are underrated. I think. And that's not even in Canada, but also in Europe. There's only few elite pullers that do well, but unfortunately, the rest of the world, and I'm trying not to be, I mean, personally anyway, but majority, the demographics for arm wrestling, I would say 85-90% is men. Men don't want to see female pull. They rather see them fight, if you know what I mean.
Right. And I don't want to put words in Amanda's mouth, but I'm guessing she's thinking that, hey, if we have an event with all ladies or the majority of the ladies, that will put more ladies and women out there in our sport to try to build this thing up. I'm just guessing. I'm not, Amanda, if I'm wrong, by all means, correct me with that. So
it would have to be a mix, men and female. It can be only like for the pay-per-view to get the views and get the excitement going. Yes. I think, yeah. So
okay. Now there's a few ladies that I know personally, right? And I'm wondering when I'm going to see them on your card. If I throw names out like Sarah Wilson, if I throw names out like Jocelyn Brisson, and when Jocelyn came to the States in Tennessee earlier this year for that round robin, and sent shockwaves, right? And she beat Sarah, right? Sarah Backman. And going into that match or going into that round robin, it was like, okay, it's Sarah and everybody else. And then all of a sudden, you know, the planets like tilted over and stuff. And did you hear what Jocelyn did? And she won. And I think shortly after that, she had a match with Heidi Cordner, and she won that one.
Yes.
So now she's in this stratosphere, like, you know, she's like the queen right now of arm wrestling with the ladies in Canada. But there's other names that need to be tossed in the fray. What do you think about that?
So like in North America, usually when I pair people up, it's I'm fair, and I like to put people together in the same weight class. Mm-hmm. So if we have and there's only few women in the world that would classify for, like, let's say 210 or 220 up, right? So like, let's say take Jocelyn. Who would Jocelyn go against next?
I would say Sarah Wilson. I'm just throwing it out there.
Sarah, if okay, so let's take it back a little bit. Sarah Wilson went against Heidi, and she lost to Heidi, right? Heidi lost to Jocelyn.
Right.
So maybe there could be, or there could be a match, but I would. Jocelyn is getting super strong. I would put her against Gabby to see where that goes.
Hey, and that was the first name that came out after that tournament, and then she beat Heidi. That name came up quickly. Like, okay, what about Gabby? So I'm thinking, you know what, that does make sense too. But I don't know what Jocelyn's schedule is. I know she's got other events lined up. I'm not sure what those dates are, but that name has came up in conversations in arm wrestling circles, you know. So that's interesting. So yes, I mean, that could be a possible event in your production, could it not?
Could. Absolutely, yeah.
There you go. So let's just say devil's advocate, and we'll just say because Scott did mention it, he would love to come to your event. So how do you do this when you have a tournament? Let's just say for Scott, and Scott, I hate to use you for an example, but I'm going to. So let's just say Scott came to your event, and he came to the actual tournament, and he had a good showing, right? Now, obviously, you're going to be there. You're kind of snipped there. You're kind of scoping out, you know, you're saying hi to everybody, shaking hands, kissing babies, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, you know, Scott does real good. And now it piques your interest. You're kind of going, you know, and all of a sudden Scott comes to you. Hey, thanks for having me here. You know, and you're saying, Scott, you did a good job and stuff, you know. Maybe down the road, there could be a possible match. Does some of that stuff happen with your organization?
Oh, for sure. 100%. That's why I do my tournaments, to see who comes up on top. I go to different tournaments. I cross the border to see other tournaments. I cross the seas, you know.
Weren't you in Florida for the Backman Classic?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Yes. Did anyone there kind of pique your interest as far as having them on your event?
Couple of people, yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to, you know, deter anything, you know, just kind of like keep it to yourself and kind of going, okay. Because like you said, you got February coming up and you got some ideas. So it's kind of keep that in the wraps until you can kind of get everything all collaborated, right?
Yeah, but that's why, you know, that's another thing. That's why I travel and I enjoy traveling. So I sometimes mix business with pleasure as well. And I go to tournaments and I go to different events just so I can see who's out there, right? Not everybody is on Instagram. Not everybody is on Facebook for me to see, you know? So, yeah.
Well, good. Another name popped up from Amanda. Are you familiar with Danielle Everson?
Of course.
Yes. What do you think about her?
Oh my gosh, she's the best. She's awesome. She was supposed to pull with Yulka. So Yulka, unfortunately, she couldn't get a visa in time. There was a little bit of a mix-up with her visa. So we postponed it until February. So Danielle and Yulka, fingers crossed that everything goes well as planned. They're going to pull in February in Europe.
So that's right now. That is the only match that you're able to talk about because it was supposed to be this coming Saturday, but now because of the visa situation, it got bumped back. So, boys and girls out there, let it be known that is the only match we'll talk about for February, just so we're clear. You know. So, what weight classes do you offer in your tournaments?
Oh my God, Jody,
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, not at all. I offer 3 for women.
Mm-hmm.
160, 160 to 200 to 10, and then 10 up. I think you put me on a spot.
Sorry about that.
For do you like really need to know? Hold on.
I mean, I was kind of
yeah, go back. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to a couple of the past events that I have had. If I can find it.
And the only reason why I asked that because there are some people that are interested in going to one of your events, and they're kind of curious, and that's probably one of the main questions that get asked. Hey, what's the weight classes? Because anytime someone has a tournament and I see a flyer, what I'll do just to help out that person is just go ahead and repost that, and more oftentimes than not, those are weight class. But I know with the Global Elite tournament, it's not even a tournament, it's actual Supermatch card. So there is no weight class on there. But I was just kind of curious. But like I said, you can answer that question down the road. You don't have to answer right this minute.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to look for the past events that I have had.
And those take place in Ontario?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that Toronto or somewhere else?
Toronto. Usually Toronto. Okay. Yeah, Toronto.
Okay. Because I saw a couple in the past, and I liked the production. I didn't realize how big the venue was. When the cameras were facing the stage, and you got the logo and stuff in the background, you got the pullers, you got the referee, and in between matches, you'll see the camera span out to the crowd. I didn't realize how big that place was, and I'm thinking, okay, because like I said, when you watch an event, the focal point is the stage, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't really know how many people are there.
Sorry,
until
Jody.
all of a sudden the camera kind of pans out like that. Then it's like, oh wow, there's a lot of people there, And I thought that was pretty interesting. So that's what really piqued my interest. And I know that a lot of people are putting together some good match cards and production and stuff. And I don't think people understand how much goes into that. Can you elaborate on that? Like there's just the production crew, you want to make sure everything is right and making sure, you got the venue and stuff. Can you kind of elaborate on that? What work do you have to put in? Which is a lot, by the way.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm lucky enough to work with a video production team I've been using them. This is my 3rd event with them. Mm-hmm. The first event they did in Toronto, it was with Sarah Bachman when Sarah was here pulling Heidi, and John Brzenk with Todzilla.
Yes.
So this was their first event, and they did such an amazing job that I said, okay, you guys are it. You're doing this again for me. Right. So, being at ease for that is just absolutely amazing, that I don't have to worry about that at all. They know what to do already. So that is gone. For the venue, hold on 1 second. When he gets quiet, he gets jealous that he doesn't get the attention right now. Stop it. Or you're going to go in the crate.
I understand. We got 2 dogs here too. Right now they're busy, none on a chew. So we're good for now. So.
So yeah, from the video production, that's I'm at ease. Anthony does everything for me. Mm-hmm. Done deal. I don't have to do anything. For the venue, when I look for the venue, it all depends on the price, to be honest with you. Right. And also depends on the I don't know how it is in the States, but usually in the venue, there's no wired internet that they don't want to provide because it's a secure network. So I have to look for the venue where there's internet that I can hook up to.
Right.
So it's a lot of running around too, just trying to find the right venue to go in to see if there's a stage, if there are the lights, if there is the audio, video, if there is like everything. So like me running around Toronto trying to see which would be the best. It takes a little bit of time too, right? Once the venue is there, once the internet and everything else, it's smooth sailing, I would say. Just picking the card and then just doing the graphics. Yeah. The
Yes.
last minute, like 3 weeks. The hotel, also the hotel, it's a big thing too, because like let's say 3 or 4, you have to book the hotel here in Toronto area around the airport at
Right.
least 6 or 7 months beforehand, because otherwise to have individuals for 30 or 40 rooms or 20 to 30 rooms, um, it's pretty tough.
Right.
Around summertime too, because everybody's coming in, right?
Yes, yes. Now, here's the thing, and everybody in the chat, be aware, because what I admire about what you're doing, I mean, you put a lot of work into this. And I know you got a team around you to help put this together, but
No, it's only me, by the way.
oh, well, there you go. See that? So
Well,
again,
other than the
everybody,
production team, everything else is me.
yeah, see? So what I admire is that you're able to go to these other places, other tournaments, and
Yeah.
sometimes they may think, "Oh, Magda's here. How you doing, Magda?" and stuff. We're taking pictures and stuff, and selfies and that kind of stuff. But you're there for two reasons. You're there to have a good time, which the majority of people see that, but you're also there on business because you can also sit aside and go, "Oh, okay, hey, good match, good match." Are you kind of taking
notes,
mental notes, and that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden, maybe a month or two later,
pick up, yeah.
Oh, hey, how you doing? This is Magda. How are you? Are you interested in coming to my? So I mean, there's always that kind of stuff, right? So that's pretty cool, because not a lot of people do that. I mean, you're there to have a good time, but you just you don't say, "Hey, I'm coming to see," some potential matches coming up. You don't say anything, and that's smart. You just I hope I didn't let your secret out, but
no.
You're there to have a good time. Hey, let's have a drink. Let's sit there and talk shop. How you doing and stuff? And how's work? How's life? How's training? Just random conversation. But in the back of your head, kind of going, yeah, I see what you did. Okay, all right, call it that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. I don't see any promoters doing that kind of stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no problem. I love it. I enjoy it so much. Like what I love everything that I do around arm wrestling. I love putting the cards together. I love traveling. I love meeting new people. I like exploring, learning different cultures and different people as well. It's just absolutely everything about it. Everything and the entertaining side of it too. Just putting a good show on and for people to be all in the same spot having a great time. That's it. That's the end result puts a smile on my face, and that's what I do it for. I'm not kidding you.
Now, what you want to do as a promoter, you want to put on the best event to where people want to come back. People want to say, "Hey, man, I went to that event. I went to, Global Elite, or I went to AWC, and man, we had a blast and stuff. Man, I want to go again." As a promoter, that's what you want to hear, because now that makes you more excited to go, okay, do you have problems kind of topping the last event? Like, oh, how do I make this next event bigger than the next one? Is that ever an issue with you?
I do the best that I can, Jody. I really do. I want I like to have a good time.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with that,
You know what? Usually after what I do after the event itself, like let's say the event is on a Saturday, if it's during the summertime, like the day after, we have a spot here in Toronto called Cabana Pool Bar. So it's a pool party by the lake. Like a lot of people, Drake goes there, like 50 Cent was there recently having a party or his birthday. So it's a very popular spot, and all the boats come in. So I take everybody over the day after. It's a day party for everybody to relax. We drink, we eat, we have a good time. We go home, sleep it off, and off they go.
Now, see, as an athlete, that's the kind of treatment people are looking for, because you go there and it's like going, oh, man, I had a blast. We had the event. The event was awesome. There was an after party. We're all like going back to our hotels. We're getting showered and getting dressed. And now we're able to kind of go out, kind of red carpet-ish, hey, what's going on? Everybody's all dolled up and nice looking. And now you're having a good time.
Yeah.
those kind of experiences stick with everybody. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I do it for them and I do it for myself too, right? Because like I said, I want them to have a good time. I want to, any promoter out there, without the athlete, there would be no arm wrestling, there would be no pay-per-view, there would be no show. This is because of them. So yes, they get rewarded during the event for their performance, but that's not everything. Having a good time is also a part of the event. So that's why I offer that also, right? So
Magda, it's what I like to call M&M, making memories, right?
Yes, you got it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
I should get a T-shirt. Hashtag M&M, making memories, because you look back on that and then you get all the pictures and stuff. You put that in a folder. You can look through your phone. Oh yeah, I got it. Like in my phone, I got a bunch of stuff in a folder. Like when I went to the World Series of Arm Wrestling here, and I went to this tournament, and all of a sudden, when I went to Canada last year, and I did the event up in Manitoba. So this picture with me and SB and Gabby and all that kind of stuff, and Earl Wilson and Sarah. We just had a great time and stuff. And so you look back at that, kind of going, man, that was a good time and stuff. So those are things you want to do. Got a tough question. I'm not going to go too far down the rabbit hole with this, but as a promoter, there's always competition. There's other leagues out there that kind of say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. And what I'm really glad about, I mean, a lot of things that what you do, but what I'm also glad about is that you kind of just stay to yourself. Like, you know what? I got friends over there, but I'm not going to get involved in all this turmoil. I'm going to focus on what I got over here. I'm glad. I know you see it because we all talk about it, but the fact that, you're able to be away from all that. Have you ever got to a situation where you had a certain athlete come into your event, but they couldn't make it because of politics or whatever?
Oh yeah, of course.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, you know what? It is. But shit, it is what it is.
Yes.
Nobody, I can't change it. It's outside of my control. It is within the control of the other promoters and the athletes. Oh, Candy, I love Candy.
Yeah, because she was down there, and Marlene there. Y'all was having a great time down there.
So it's out of my control. I can't do anything about it. It's up to the athlete to stand up and say enough is enough, I would say, especially when they want to come to my event and they want to come compete for me. It's just, Jody, it's just time. Like for me, it's just time. It will pass. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole because it's for some athletes, for some organizations, it's a very touchy subject. I know a lot of people have opinions, strong opinions nonetheless, but it's always staring us in the face on a daily basis, So I was just wondering, how do you deal with that? And it's like, okay, because as a promoter, there's nothing more aggravating than having a set card. Cool. Guess what? Now I got somebody, putting together a flyer if you don't do it yourself. And now I'm going to go ahead and post it on every social media outlet, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now you got a person, hey, I can't come because this, that, and the other. Now you got to, put out a fire and go, okay, do I cancel that match and have it at the next one, which you did? Do I sit there and try to scramble and try to find a last minute replacement? So a lot goes on in all this. Do you think that's true in your case?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It happened. It happened a couple of times. Well, not couple. It happened a few times actually. But like I said, there's nothing that I can do about it. I do want to put the best show that I can do. I'm working with what I have.
Yes.
I'm working with what I have, and I'm going to continue to work with what I have. I don't have an option, or I quit. I'm sorry, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to continue what I do best and what I love. So working with what I have, like I said, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
And I'm glad. See, I like that attitude. Well, I'm not a quitter because this is my passion. This is something I like to do. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and do it for yourself. I'm going to do it for the athletes.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that above all else, I'm going to do the best thing that I can to make sure that this event happens. End of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And as a promoter, you got to have that kind of energy, you know. Also, do sometimes you feel overwhelmed, like, oh man, you got there's so many people you want to put on the card, but you're only limited or whatever. I don't know if you're limited to a certain how many matches you have per event, but then you also feel overwhelmed, like, well, maybe I can put this match maybe at the next one, not this one. Do you ever go through that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, if I could have about 20 matches, but it's time consuming, right? I don't
True.
think, I don't think anybody wants to sit at the show or watch the show for that is 5 or 6 hours long. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And as I also like with my reps, Dave Knox and Craig, I love them because they're so quick on everything. There's no bullshitting. There's no playing at the table, nothing. Set up, go. So 3-4 hours for me is the max, and I think about 8 to 10 matches. That's the maximum that I would go. I had 10 matches in January this year, and 8 matches this Saturday. So I don't think I would go beyond that. But there's matches that I want to put on, but we'll go to the next event.
I like that happy medium because well, we all know, and then you know, you want to have the best matches too, but at the same time, it's like, let's just say you're starting at 10 a.m., right? Okay, West Coast time.
Yeah.
There's events I've had on pay-per-view that thing didn't get done till like 3-4 in the afternoon. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So think about it. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're talking, that's half your day. That's in the middle of the day too. Yeah. So that's like 6 hours. And, you know, I like to where you're like, look, here's the deal. It's 4 hours. That is my max. If we happen to go a few minutes over, we'll deal with that. Yeah. But you want to kind of keep the same goal, which means for that to happen, you can't be messing around on the table. I don't need all the theatrics and the walking around and stalling. No, look, you came here to compete. So let's compete. You didn't come here to sit there and try to drag the whole thing out. Let's do what we have to do because everybody wants to see this match. Everybody who bought the event wants to see this match. You as a promoter, I want to see this match. I don't want to see people messing around and stuff, you know. It's
plus, you
like,
know what? Even the athletes themselves, especially when you're having a late event like 6 o'clock, they're anxious. From the time they get up, 9, 10, whatever time it is, to wait all day for their lunch. They don't eat because they don't like to eat before the match because the nerves and everything else. They have to wait all day for that. You know what I mean? And to wait another 5 or 6 hours during the event to eat or to relax, that's a little bit of a torture. Get there, do what you got to do. Let's go and party.
Well, yeah, because you got to remember, if you're starting at 6 o'clock, right? Hey, that's pretty much evening time. It's like, look, I mean, I still want to get to the after party. Let's go ahead and do what we do, you know? So I like that. I like that. So what promoted you to get into this organization side of it?
I've started Igor Mazurenko. I've met Igor at the Worlds in Turkey, in Antalya. That was, I think, 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And we started chatting. First, I started selling the equipment here in Canada, the handles. Yes. And then we started chatting about doing PAL in Canada. So first I started just doing regular tournaments and COVID hit. And, you know, couldn't get a venue. I already had a big event scheduled, but COVID hit and I couldn't. So I just did little events in my backyard, you know, despite all the restrictions and shit.
I was keep it going.
Yeah. So I had like, I would say 50 to 100 people in my backyard just doing regular small events, right? And then I said, okay, let's, and I enjoyed it once again. Set up a tent, set up a table, do a barbecue, have drinks, have a good time. And then, like I said, okay, let's take it to a big stage. So I booked a little venue, first, did a tournament, that went well, and kept on going. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Now, do you ever sit back and kind of go, just look at the venue like the night before, and you got the chairs and the tables all set up, the stage is put together, you got the table, you got the background with the logo and everything. And do you ever sit back and go, you know what? Once upon a time, I had a tent in my backyard, and now look what it's become. You look around. Do you ever take a moment to sit back and kind of, relish all the hard work you put in and to where it is now to where it was before?
Yeah, I kind of go into a panic mode usually the night before the video.
Right.
Seeing it, though I'm not joking, like a couple of times I just started bawling my eyes out, not because I'm sad or happy or anything, it's just a fucking panic attack. And it's like I'm looking and I'm like, this is
shaking, and you ever pinch yourself going, oh, this is real, oh wow, so
it's a good feeling. But it's been like 4 or 5 years now. And
do you ever get any sleep the night before? Because my wife and I put on a tournament once a year in the summer, and the week of, I understand, as a promoter, or organizer, you put a lot of work into it. I mean, sponsors, venues, making sure you got some referees, making sure you got the right bracketeers and all that kind of stuff. And I know the week of the event, I'm nervous wreck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any hair to pull out, but I'm a nervous wreck. Like, we wake up the day of the event. I'm thinking, man, I'm sitting up here like, we're getting up early in the morning, because we start our event like midday. And you get up early in the morning. You got to go to the venue. It's my wife and I setting everything up. Trophies, awards, we're just setting stuff up, We're like nonstop. And you put it, hey, guys, weigh-ins are at 10 a.m. Don't be rolling here at 9:25. Can I weigh in? Dude, go away. Go get a breakfast sandwich or something like that. Trying to get stuff together. So do you wake up on the day of the event? So when you wake up this Saturday morning, what are your nerves like?
You know what? I don't even think about it. I just get up and go. I do lose. Maybe it's 3-4 hours max a night, because you keep thinking about everything. You know exactly how it goes. But it's just like the day of the event, I get up and I go. I don't have time to think. It's just like automatic. Go to the venue, see how it's set up, see where the cameras are, do this, do that. It's just like, and that's why I go into a panic mode, because when you see everything set up and it's like, okay, do I have everything done? It's like, Yeah,
and I hate, there's sometimes, and I admit, and for anybody out there, let me go ahead and apologize in advance. I might get a little snippy because I'm trying to make sure I'm in the middle of something. I'm thinking, my mind is going 10,000 miles an hour. I'm kind of going, okay, do look at my checklist. All right. It's like, what? I don't mean to snap at them. It's like, do you not see me trying to do this? And you got somebody following you around thinking, what's up, man? What you need? Oh, where do we go to register? I'm like, dude, there's signs everywhere. Go on the stage. My wife's at the table. She'll take care of you. Go, Hey, man, I don't mean to bother you. Where's the scale? I swear to God, next person to ask me that. So it's because you're not frustrated. It's just like you got so much going on that you got to think about.
Yeah.
And for people out there who don't know, I'll speak for myself on this. I'm not being a jerk on purpose. It's just that there's so much that goes into this. I don't think people understand. We want to make sure everything is perfect. So when the show starts, we got to keep it rolling, and you want to make sure, from your end, okay, it's my production. We all ready to go? Camera guy. Yeah, we good? Okay. Because once we start this thing in the pay-per-view, we live. Yeah. We live. So when it's all said and done, that's when I can kind of go, all right, job well done. And then I sleep a lot, because the night before I don't sleep at all hardly, but the night after the event, I sleep like a baby. So do you do the same thing? You sleep once the event's all said and done, and after you party and having a good time, how do you sleep that night?
You know what? The adrenaline is still running. I don't sleep until a couple of days after. I'm not joking.
Phil Woody's in the house. I've met these two great people. Yes, I met Phil Woody at one of the Monster Factory events over there up in Arkansas last year, and great guy.
I don't think I've met. Maybe I have. I don't know. Sometimes I'm all over the place thinking, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, you're in Europe, you're in Florida, you're like everywhere. So, I mean, people go, oh, Magda's here. Hey, Magda's here, you guys. So Magda comes in there. Hey, how you doing? And can I get a selfie? Got the phone, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So,
no.
so, and Candy says, Magda is super strong. She should put herself on one of her own cars. How do you feel about that?
Candy, you keep quiet.
Did a little birdie tell me you're real strong, huh?
Candy, be quiet.
So did you used to compete?
A little bit, yeah. So I started, actually the arm wrestling thing started, I moved outside of the city into a smaller town, and I joined a new gym, and there was a table set up and a couple of guys pulling, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you guys doing over there? And it was actually Phil Stoppard, which is a veteran in arm wrestling. Yeah. He's a very good friend with Gary Goodrich and a few other guys. And he was there with a few guys, and I'm curious, and I'm not a shy person, so I just came up and I said, can I try? And I started coming out to practices and started pulling, and I entered a couple of tournaments. But then with organizing an event, having a full-time job, and training, I can't do that.
It's just, you got so much on your plate now, and when you have a break in the action or you got time, it's like, I'll probably get on there just to hang out. But it's not that like, hey, I got to go train for this. It's like your training is basically, as an athlete, you train for the event. As a promoter, you train to make sure you put on one of the best events that you can in your power. It kind of goes hand in hand. We all train for different things. Yeah. You train to be in the event, and you train to host the event.
You got it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's just another way of looking at it. Nothing wrong with that, but another way of looking at it. But yeah, I got two of my favorite pullers, and I've made this a point because I'm a left-hand puller. So two of my favorite left-hand pulls of all time will be in this event Saturday. Cody Merritt, good friend of mine, love that guy. My co-host Ryan Espy, he's also on the card. I'm looking forward to that. Him and I talk back and forth. I'm like, hey man, how you feeling? We do a show, a weekly show and stuff, and it's very, very exciting. So he's feeling pretty good. Cody will chime in on our show. They were on there last week, so Cody's feeling pretty good and stuff. So I'm excited all over. So don't forget, guys, millions.co. Level Elite dash Level Elite.
Global Elite.
Okay. Now I gotta get this straight. So I might imagine I can't get it. And I want to make sure I get the whole thing down. Global Elite. All right. So check it out. That'll go on 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 o'clock out west, if you're counting. And I'm telling you, the after party is going to be amazing. I can only imagine. I can close my eyes and imagine how the party is going to be.
Come play out.
Yeah, see, and don't forget, February is the next. Is that the AWC event?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And you said the 25th, or is there a date yet?
No, it's going to be early, trying to accommodate few people, and they know who they are, so probably early February.
Early February. See that? Yeah. I'm assuming that's on pay-per-view.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that will be. And actually, Anthony, my production guy, is from the country that I'm planning on doing the event, so he might be coming with me too.
Now, is that event in Canada also, or is that going to be in Europe?
That's going to be in Europe.
Okay. Woo! Imagine that.
Yeah.
AWC, February, Europe.
Nice, eh?
Wow.
I think so. Wow. I'm excited.
Wow. What part?
I don't want to say.
Okay. Sorry. I sat there and told everybody I wasn't going to get too deep in that. All you need to know is that there is one match, and that's all you're allowed to say.
That's confirmed for sure.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you're able to put a couple shows together a year, because there's a lot that goes into that. And you know, you want to make sure that you got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed to make sure I got everything ready to go. And then it's like, okay, here we go. We're doing this. And then, hey, 6-7 months later, we have another one. And it's enough time in between where you kind of go, okay, cool. And then also, as a promoter, you want to make sure it doesn't fall on the same weekend as another event, right?
Yeah. So with actually, when was this? It was a couple of months before with Knuckles Up with Will and Chris. I didn't I had a date and they had a date already, and we didn't know about it. And we started to talk, and we actually started talking, and that's why Matt Warangi, he's in my event, and then the week after he's in their event, so we kind of shared him on our journey. So that's gonna be pretty cool, and we're gonna keep working together and see where I have we should grow arm wrestling.
Yes.
Not preventing athletes from growing and growing the sport. So I went to their event in New Jersey a couple of months ago. It was a blast. It was a lot of good time too. And yeah, it's I'm there to support anybody and everybody. And also we're gonna work with other promoters as well. Just as you said, not to step on each other's feet where we have a one event next to another kind of thing, right? Because it just takes away from each other. So yeah.
Yes and no, because it's not like we can just the global one that's coming Saturday. You can't just show up. That's like an invite, so it doesn't affect anybody else. And like Knuckles Up the following week, that's the invitation. You can't just show up to that and compete. So that I don't mind. It's not like a tournament where it's like, oh, well, what tournament should I go to? It doesn't matter because it's, that's the invite. That's the invite. There you go. Not a big deal. But I will say with your event, with High Five Guys and Knuckles Up, it does put other athletes on the map,
Yeah.
Like you give opportunities. And I like that because, we all support arm wrestling. We all know we have our favorites that we like and we cheer for. And, there's the elite aspect of it. There's big names. But, every once in a while, it doesn't have to always be the same people day in, day out, because honestly, what you look at it, and if you try to cater to everybody, if anybody, walking the face of earth goes, hey, Devin Laird, oh, yeah, John Brzezinski, yeah. But those guys think that's all there is just those guys. But when you take it a step further and go, you know what? I'm going to give this athlete an opportunity. I'm going to give that athlete an opportunity. And they perform well. It's like, wow, where have you been this whole time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why you do what you do. This is why you go out there. I'm looking on, okay, ooh, Danielle, yeah, I see her on Instagram. She's working out every day. Okay, that kind of, you give people opportunities. Because all you need is that one opportunity. If they perform well, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Once again, you're writing stuff down and stuff, So I do like that about promoters and stuff. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is there's a few guys that I've been watching, in Elizabeth Motek. She's a tank. She's absolutely I would love. We chatted before. So hopefully she can be in my event soon.
Yeah, this is Phil Woody. He said he met you at the Arm Gods in Canada. He's a camera guy,
See what he says? Yeah, I was
moonshine and vodka. See,
all about good time. I swear to God. Yeah, that's what I do. God, great.
But I do like that. You have someone in mind, and whether it's a phone call or it's a video chat or even a text message or Facebook Messenger, you're interacting with the athlete. You're trying to sit there and kind of go, hey, I would love to have you on this event if you're able to. And then you got to kind of iron out all the logistics and all that kind of stuff. And then you go, hey, what day is it? Okay, let me check my schedule. Oh, hey, guess what? I'm open. Okay, well, then let's go ahead and go to the next step. So I do like that because this is what we all been wanting to, being, treated as an athlete as such, and I like that. I think, if this keeps going, it's whew.
And some of the I think in like this is my opinion, some of these guys that are like striving to get somewhere and they want to be somewhere, they got to put themselves out there as well, right? So like,
Yes.
and you know what, like I won't know about who you are unless you put yourself out there on social media and show me who you are, especially when you're living thousands and thousands of miles away, right?
Right.
So this, it comes down to promoting yourself as well, big time.
You have to. And I've
Yeah.
always told people this.
Yeah.
Whether you have a podcast show,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes, Jody.
whether you're out there, you know, you're putting training videos out there, you know, whether you got a bunch of matches and you put that out there and you put together a little, you know, a nice piece on a reel and stuff, you know, not everybody has a not a promoter. Not everybody has a sponsor. So you got to go out there and do it yourself. And it's like, I got all this stuff I'm going to throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. And hopefully, you know, somebody will see that and you'll get a call, you know? So yeah, it's all about doing that, you know? And I think now because we live in a social media world, that's their go-to. That's what everyone's trying to do. I'm going to do the best I can. If I get a call, awesome. If I don't, then I don't. No big deal. I got to keep going though, you know, because now there's so many promotions out there. Someone's bound to see something. And I say, and I'll go ahead and say this, and this is not stepping on toes. This is not disrespecting nobody. We all know the cream of the crop right now. You got East versus West. You got King of the Table. However, there's other promotions. Your promotion, hell, there's two you're involved with. There's that Knuckles Up, Monster Factory, Flashpin Productions in Texas, Montana Armbender, and those are just production shows. And you still got the tournaments over there. Around, you know, in Canada, around in the United States. So there's a lot to offer. All you got to do, and you already said it, you know, all you got to do is promote yourself out there. Somebody has to. Dan Plexman, a good friend of mine. Hey, you know, he came down and back in January, him and his wife were on a tour and they stopped through here to Oregon. Hey, you going to be around? Yeah. You mind if we stop by and train? Yeah, come on over. So him and I and his wife were all in the garage. We're just training, going over some stuff. And you know, that was pretty fun. That's another thing, too. We all travel and go, hey, I'm in town. Where's a good place I could train at? Oh, man, yeah, come over here. Word gets out. Guess what? Oh, now you got 25 people showing up because somebody's from out of town, you know? So for some odd reason, Magda's in Oregon, coming through Central Oregon because we're going to go skiing or whatever. Hey, hook me up. I'm like, oh, Magda's coming over. We can sit there and just talk it up. You know? And I like that about this sport. We all can sit there and do stuff like that. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, where I travel, it's sometimes I'm just looking on my phone on Facebook. Where can I go where there's enough arm wrestlers that I can hook up with? I swear to God. So I've been in, like, Sweden is on my list to go to. Petra has invited me a few times, and I want to go. I've been in Sweden, oh my God, I would say 30 plus years ago. So it'd be, once again, business with pleasure. I love hiking and I love the mountains, so I would love to go and visit and do something over there as well. Yeah.
Well, I will say one more thing before I cut you loose.
Yeah.
It's about the production aspect, and I gotta put this out there so everybody in the chat, hear me out. Magda, hear me out. I gotta say this. What's exciting is that each promotion has their own thing. They're not trying to outdo anybody, right? So first thing you think of, Knuckles Up. What's the first thing you think of?
Purple.
There you go. You see what I'm saying? That is the first. When you talk armed gods, it's red. Knuckles Up, purple. You know, AWC party. There's going to be a big after party. So I mean, you're not trying to outdo. But there's always something signature about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. Everybody's got their own thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but no, Knuckles Up. It was, you know what? It was the hospitality and the party afterwards too. Absolutely, and that's important. When people are
making memories, right? Yeah. It's all it's about, you know.
So I think that's where I met Danielle. Yeah, that's where I met Danielle, actually.
So
and we hanged out. We hanged out there, and we hang out. I went to Colorado, and her boyfriend was at the strongman competition, so we hanged out a little bit over there. Yeah.
now you everywhere.
I try.
Well, good. Well, Magda, I don't want to keep you going, keep you up. I know you got the rest of your day to go through, but I do want to say it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm glad we can able to sit there and talk and, interact with everybody out there, making sure, hey, don't forget everybody this Saturday, okay? 6 p.m. East Coast time, 3 o'clock West Coast time. Let me see if I got it correct this time, Magna. So it's millions.co.
Global Elite.
Okay.
Yeah.
So get the pay-per-view. It's going to be a happening. And, hey, there's some big names on that card. Pick your favorites. Watch the event. Enjoy the event. And then, be sure to get back to Magna. Hey, awesome event. Like what you did, because that kind of stuff makes Magna go, ooh, thanks for watching. Now I'm going to go. My mind is on February. There you go.
That's how it is.
There you go. Magda, thank you very much
for
joining me on the show. We're going to have to do it down the road once again, if you don't mind.
Of course. I'm getting used to this stuff, so it will be
there
better
you go.
next time.
Take care.
Thank you, Jody. You have a good day.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.